Thanks for stopping and taking a look here at our webinar in preparation for the next Wednesday, January 12th, 2011 USDA report. Of course, with this report, we do have quite a few different numbers to speak of here. Numbers all across the board, everything from production, U.S. ending stocks, world ending stocks, and those factors. Let's cover those first few portions of these various reports right now. Then let's cover actually the big wild cards, in our opinion, a little bit later on in the presentation here. As far as this goes, 2010 USDA production, keep in mind what USDA did say 12.540 billion bushels last month. We do have actually a small revision, down 26 million bushels. For soybeans, we expect a moderate 4 million bushel decline here. As far as the corn, keep in mind we do have some numbers which do jump around quite a bit. In the last few years, you've had quite a large variation. In fact, just last year, a 230 million bushel increase to the 2010 crop. So certainly some revisions can come on this report, which can shock the trade for corn. For soybeans, the numbers aren't that large. Keep in mind the range here, maybe 30 to 40 million bushel increase or decrease in various ways. One thing we did kind of point out was, while there was not much of a change or much of a pattern for corn versus similar years, we did find something here for soybeans. When you have large declines, when you have a similar decline, I should say, in production for soybeans, there are a couple, 3 other years we pointed out. Each of these combined, the average amount, almost no change here. This is one of the factors we use for our report itself here, for our estimate itself here. But in general, it looks like a moderate decline for soybean stocks. We also will be looking at corn stocks here, of course. We expect a decline from 832 down to 756 million bushels. Some key things why we have this decline, as I mentioned before, a 26 million bushel drop in production. We do also look for higher ethanol. In fact, we're increasing our ethanol by a full 100 million bushels over USDA. Countering that, we will point out we are having some problems with exports. This is certainly shown, in fact, by this latest report Thursday morning, which was a little disappointing for corn. So we do have that balanced out, but the net result will be a decline for corn ending stocks. For soybeans, though we do have a decline in production of a moderate 4 million bushels, we are having some problems on the demand side. Crush right now is certainly one problem that we have here. On the export side, we'll probably meet USDA here, but net result, with some crush concerns of ours, we do have a small increase. For wheat, we'll simply point out that ending stocks should drop because we're doing much better than expected on the export side here. World supply demand numbers, we're not going to go into too many charts here, just simply point out we expect a 2 million ton decline for Argentine corn crop. That's one thing we're looking at right now. So we do expect a moderate decline on U.S. or on the world corn numbers. So you combine the Argentine with the U.S. One wild card right now is one group we know of at least says China production may actually be increased on this report from what USDA has. We don't agree with that view, but we'll just simply point it out there. World soybeans, we do have a 1 million ton decline from USDA on the soybean crop for Argentina. A moderate one. If we are going to have some more problems show up, the USDA should make some revisions later on. But for right now, a moderate 1 million ton decline shouldn't be too out of line. I mentioned previously we've got 2 other reports. These are, of course, separate reports come out the exact same day, which we feel are the real wild cards to this whole setup for next Wednesday. As far as those key reports, we can point out we've got grain ending stocks, or quarterly grain stocks, and also wheat stocks here, or I say wheat plantings. On this quarterly grain stocks, as I said, in our opinion, this is the big wild card. You may remember last year, throughout the entire year, these last 3 guesses on USDA for stocks were a big surprise to the industry. And let's kind of go into this in a little more detail, kind of explain what we're looking at. USDA takes the beginning stocks, in other words, what's left over from last year, plus production. And this is our total supply for the entire year. Then USDA kind of says, well, where are we at as far as gauging? Are we having the right usage? One thing we kind of actually get some solid concrete numbers is through this quarterly grain stock number. As of December 1st, we expect about a 10.3 billion bushels to be left over once USDA finishes its survey here. Now, this number by itself doesn't look too crazy here. Of course, we've got declines from September through November usage. And then, of course, January through February, January, I should say, December through February usage is what's shown up by this report here, then the next 2 quarters thereafter. Let's get a little more detail in this usage argument and kind of explain why we have some crazy concerns here from what USDA may do here. Usage will be a little slightly larger than last year's pace, is what our number implies. I want you to watch these yellow bars, though. September Nov, D's Feb. These are not too far, not too crazy. USDA was we had usage above last year for the first quarter. Second quarter it fell. Third quarter usage suddenly sprung up. And then, of course, we have the fourth quarter showing the same. Let's go into the big wild card of this usage number itself. This is the feed use. I want you to see what USDA did last year to their feed use numbers. USDA started out with the first quarter actually suggesting a slight increase in feed use for the first quarter. The trade had expected the exact same pattern to show up on that second quarter usage, but USDA actually was off by about 300 million bushels from the trade's guess. What was kind of confusing is the third quarter. Look at this usage here. It's much stronger than USDA, or much stronger than the previous year by, well, guess what? A little more, in fact, a little over 300 million bushels. And then kind of confusing the trade even more, USDA flip-flopped yet again with this usage number and showed a sharp decline from last year levels here. So this is our big wild card right now. What will USDA would do with these usage numbers? For right now, we're going to say a slight decline. As at this point here. We will point out that though we do have a little larger herd, we have a little better corn quality right now. So we don't have that quality issue which caused, supposedly in USDA's mind, such a large increase in the first quarter usage here. So that's one thing I want to point out on that usage itself. That will be the key thing in our opinion. As far as winter wheat seedings, right now we're looking for about a 4.6 million acre increase for winter wheat plantings this past fall. And as you can see here, we had 2 straight years of declines pointed out in the previous years. We're going to take some of that back here. Key reasons why we have that coming up is a much better price. Last year during harvest, 2010 during summer, harvest begins I have laid out here. Here's the prices sitting right here. We had a rally going on actually during harvest. From this point, 567, the ending price. Now look what the market's telling these guys during harvest or during planting. What's coming up for the 2011 harvest. This is the planting period laid out here, and this is where they just harvested the previous year's crop. So keep in mind, we had about a 32% increase in prices, and in fact, after planting, we see even higher prices here. But the net result is these guys had plenty of reason to plant a large increase in winter wheat. The question mark right now is what effect did dryness have during fall? As you can tell by this map here, the drought monitor map, during the month of October, this is the first week of October of 2010, when planting was around half done, we did see some dryness showing up here, western Oklahoma and western Kansas. So quite a few question marks laid out right now. At this point, we certainly do look for quite a few different things to be laid out. We feel the main focus of the report will be a drop in U.S. corn ending stocks, as I said, from 832 down to 756. Let's see what USDA has here. You can feel free to give us a call here at Allendale, 1-800-262-7538. Get more information on what the report means to you, and actually more importantly, what it means to prices and what type of strategies you should take, whether it's speculation or hedging here right now. So I'll be happy to hear from you. As I said, Wednesday morning, January 12th at 7:30 is when these reports come out. Thank you.